Good morning and welcome back to Life Daily with Dawn. We are continuing our All Systems Go video series on the 24 life systems to come to life and live in full expression. These solar systems are comprised of 3 system sets of 8 systems each, and we're taking a look at the final of those system sets, the C system set, that is all about a reconnection to your essential truth and the love you are at your core. So today's map system is the revitalization map system. I love this one. I just love the name, revitalization, because who doesn't need that, right, in our life, in our world? These are momentum action pathways to restore your inner light and to return the gift of your life's dance with a passionate affirmation of your essential truth. So this one just to me feels like so alive, and I love that. Of course, you probably picked up on the fact that I'm passionate about life itself, and perhaps that's why. I also love this map system because each of the momentum action pathways that came through for this map system are so simple, and they all begin with R. And I really truly love this one. So whoever out there is like me and could use a little revitalization in their lives now, or at any point in every day, we can return to these momentum action pathways to access more and more of our light and our life and our love, and to live from that. Because wouldn't the world be an amazing place if we all, every day and every moment, held fast to that, the truth of who we are, and did not relinquish it so easily because of external circumstances that seem beyond our control, or because we've lost faith or hope or love because of our immediate surroundings, or the situations that seem insolvable. And I was about to say insoluble. It seems both insolvable and insoluble at times. And so these momentum action pathways that I will share with you today are all about revitalization, coming back to life. So let's take a look at them. The first momentum action pathway is to welcome revelation. Be prepared to be surprised. I love this one. And just begin in your life day to day to create a little space for wonder and mystery, and allow yourself to be revealed in the moment. In other words, don't be so fixed about everything, about who you are and how the world is supposed to be. Create a little space to welcome revelation. Okay, so first momentum action pathway is to welcome revelation. The second momentum action pathway is to welcome reawakening. So this is about awakening again and again to the truth and the love within you. And it's very similar to a many-petaled lotus or flower that is opening to the sun. And it's like it opens and it's beautiful, and then you see it open some more and it's more beautiful, and then it seems to have so many petals and be so full and so ready to receive. That's how you want to picture yourself in terms of welcoming, reawakening day by day. Some of us have this situation that happens where we think it's about being awake to specific conditions in our reality, and then we think there's just awake and not awake. But it's not that way. It's not only a continuum. It's actually an expanding sphere, and also the patterns of awakening and reawakening can elevate us. They can amplify our enjoyment of the moment, our moving into joy in the moment. So welcome reawakening. The third momentum action pathway is to welcome reconnection. Reconnection. So to do this, one way I like to think about this is to begin to weave a world of wonder within you. And just picture that, and find those threads of unity as you connect to the whole of who you are, and to the whole of those who are placed upon your path, and the whole of all that is and will be, and was and will be, all that is and was and will be. And so begin to reconnect and walk through your life, walk in the way of your life with an attitude of reconnection and welcoming that. And don't see it as something scary or something, but see it as something beautiful. You are weaving a world of wonder. And you're creating something quite beautiful out of the threads of who you are that are so unique and so beautiful. And so the world so needs to see these things of who you are, the truth of you, because it is so beautiful. So that is welcome reconnection. The fourth momentum action pathway is to welcome remembrance. This is about bringing those essential truths that do rise up within you in any given moment, bringing them together and remembering more and more of who you are and who you have come to be. And so as we're going through life, again, this is another one we see as I've either remembered who I am or I have not, but it's actually, there's always a deeper remembering. Remember means to put together again. And so welcome that. Welcome that in any given situation and see yourself with fresh eyes and embrace that whole new way of seeing yourself, being yourself, and freeing yourself. And the way you do that is to be open to more and more truth that arises from within you. So welcome remembrance. The fifth momentum action pathway is to welcome resolution and reconciliation. I like to think of the word resolution as the solution, and then reconciliation. So see the solution. Focus your eyes on the solution that comes through the dissolution of perceived barriers and illusions that are created by the mind and divisions that are formed by fault lines. Divisions that are formed by fault lines that began when you saw yourself as separate from others or separate from God, from source, from life itself. Maybe you didn't know you were doing that, but that's what happens. And then there happens to be this fragmentation and these fault lines that create polarities of shame and blame and things that take us away from the truth, the essential truth of who we are individually and who we are together collectively. So be reconciled to those you have seen as separate. This being reconciled to can take many forms, but it happens most importantly in the heart. So welcome resolution and reconciliation. The sixth momentum action pathway is to welcome reclamation. So reclaim all that you cast aside or judged or rejected or saw as separate somehow and restore it to its rightful place within the context of love. So welcome reclamation and a reclaiming, a radical reclamation of the whole of who you are, beginning there. Because that's what happens first is what we're doing is we're judging ourselves or something inside of us. And then we project that out and hurt a lot of people in the process of that. And so all of the divisions that are created or the separations that are created, sometimes they're created because we're dropping veils of separation between us and another, between us and a situation, because we see it as bad or wrong or evil or separate. We do not recognize something that is within us. So this reclamation and reclaiming is really mostly about beginning within you and realizing that the things that you have reacted to externally are clues to what internally has not been loved or healed or welcomed. Because remember, we're talking about welcome here. So the sixth momentum action pathway, welcome reclamation. The seventh momentum action pathway is to welcome restoration. Nourish and love what you believed to have been taken from you, left to die, or cast out into utter darkness, so that it may flourish once more if it is meant to live, or to find its resting place in a natural state of wholeness if its time has passed. So welcome restoration. This one is, at times, this is something that if we open our hearts to welcome the restoration about, usually something that happened in the past that we perceive to have happened to us or something that happened around us. It could be a global event as well. And sometimes it's a fairly straightforward thing. This happened and I'm able to see that within me I can love what was lost, or what I believe to have been, stolen, or the ways that I perceive myself to have been abandoned. I can love that. And the healing, it may take a while, but it's pretty easy to see what is being restored, replenished, resupplied from within again, because you're sourced from within. And the love of God is within you, because you are one with that love, because at your very core you are that love. So sometimes that's the case, and in other times restoration is an very you immerse yourself in the act of restoration that maybe to you never feels quite complete, because if it's a situation where others have refused to acknowledge, and I don't just mean as in accepting responsibility for what was done, but I actually mean literally, like pretend it didn't happen, or just go on as if it doesn't matter or whatever, then it's difficult to hold that restoration and that love for yourself and for the world. But ultimately, life itself is about flourishing. Humanity itself is meant to flourish. And each individual involved in all the kinds of ways we hurt one another, and each group and every representation of the collective is meant to grow, to thrive, to be aligned with light and life and love. And so if we can begin to see the world and all of its various players on the stage and all of its components and all of those stories that we live out as being a play of light that is an opportunity to lead us. It's like a rolling out the red carpet for restoration, the full restoration of all. And if we can hold that vision of life, then it may be that restoration seems a little more elusive and hard to envision or picture, because you don't feel maybe the forgiveness, or you're not given the opportunity to experience that in any, because there's no Truth and Reconciliation Commission going on in whatever this situation might be for you. Then it's a little more of an attitude you must return to on a day-by-day basis, and I definitely understand how difficult that can be. But the seventh momentum action pathway of welcoming restoration in your life, I know, from my own experience, that it is vital, and it leads to a revitalization of you in your life. It's a long process, but encourage you to stay with it. And the eighth momentum action pathway is to welcome resurrection of you here, now. So come fully to life, and the life to the full. Live that life and live in full expression, allowing others to do the same. Begin to realize, too, one of the fruits of welcoming resurrection and this idea of to live again is to realize that there is actually no conflict. There is no competition or contradiction in doing this here and now, because it is not only a whole new way of freeing yourself, it's a whole new way of freeing humanity, our common shared experience here and now. So that's the revitalization map system. I will repeat the 8 momentum action pathways, which are: number 1, welcome revelation; number 2, welcome reawakening; number 3, welcome reconnection; number 4, welcome remembrance; number 5, welcome resolution and reconciliation; number 6, welcome reclamation; number 7, welcome restoration; and number 8, welcome resurrection. So I hope you've enjoyed the revitalization map system, and we have 2 more map systems in the C system set, and they are the truth map system and the beauty map system. So I will see you for those in the next 2 days. Take care.